Now then, it's one of the biggest scams on the rise as more and more people find themselves at the centre of pension fraud.
Well, here to explain more is Alexis Conran. Good morning. Welcome
Morning
to you.
Both good to see you.
Well, let's just explain what they are, first of all, because they are on the rise. What is it?
Look, when it comes to pensions, what you have is you've got a big pot of money with very low levels of understanding of what it should be doing, how it works. You know, a lot of people know they have that pension and it's sitting somewhere and it's being invested by someone. And they don't quite understand what they're allowed to do with it, what they should be doing with it. Could they be doing something better with it that will see them get more money towards, you know, for their later years? So, of course, for scammers, this is an ideal scenario, a big pot of money with a very limited understanding of what it should be doing. So you're getting all sorts of different scams attacking that pot of money. So cold calls, for example, right? This is where your phone rings and all of a sudden you've got a very friendly person at the other end of the line who's saying, look, have you thought about what your pension's doing for you? Is it working for you? Is it really going to provide for you in your later years? Well, we've got some products or ideas of how you can make that happen. Now, sometimes these scams disguise themselves as these sort of pension reviews. So let's find out what your pension's doing. Of course, they can be used as methods of gathering information about your pension. They're not going to offer you anything, but the same people you've just given all that information to, a few months later will have all that information to come to you with a kind of scam, but they know so much about you. Remember, we've talked about this before.
Because you've given them
Because you've given them that information.
Well, how do you know if it's if it's something that you're already invested in, or how do you know that they're genuine?
Well, there are several things that we should be looking at. There are several trigger words, for example, liberation of pension funds, OK? This is the idea. Look, most people's pensions, you can't get hold of it before the age of 55. If someone comes and tells you, we can get your pension out, start investing it in early, we found a loophole, alarm bells, red flags, step away. If you take your pension pot out under the age of 55, you're liable to pay up to half of it in tax. That's a lot of money.
Don't do that.
So don't do that. When they ask you to do things like transfer it into Bitcoin, big red flags. When they guarantee you returns, now this applies to all investments. If people are saying to you, give us your money, we guarantee a return of investment 8 to 10%, they are lying to you. OK, it's impossible to guarantee investments.
So let's talk about, because we just did the cold calls then. So investment fraud, is that what you were just discussing there?
So these are these opportunities that will tell you, invest in this, invest in that, invest in this. Don't let your big pot of money sit tight and do nothing for you. You need to also be aware of how good these people are on the phone. Their key is to keep you on the phone as long as possible, because the longer they have you, the more rapport they're going to build with you. I've listened into calls, and they can vary. They go off into tangents. You could hear the person wanting to hang up, and the scammer heard a dog bark in the back. Oh, you've got a dog? Oh, what's his name? I've got a dog. They keep trying to connect with you personally. So again, if someone calls you, say, thank you very much, I'll put the phone down, go away and think about it before you do anything.
And what about the clone firms?
Clone firms, again, very smart from the scammer's point of view. So the biggest advice we can give is if you're talking to a pension advisor, anybody who's doing anything financial with you, go onto the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority website, and look them up. If they're not there, I would say be very careful. Do not do business there. But what people are doing is they're setting up firms that have got very similar names to firms that are registered with the FCA.
How do you pick your way through this?
Look, it's a good question. But as we, the three of us, discuss every time I come here, take your time. Don't be rushed. One of the big red flags in all of this, if someone is rushing you at the other end of that phone call or text message or email and making you feel like you need to make the decision now, step away. Slow down. If it's a genuine offer, they will wait for you to make up your mind.
I mean, you talked about this pension liberation scheme just now, and the reason why this is so attractive at the moment is sort of preying on the real vulnerable with the cost of living. People are just looking to liberate some cash from somewhere.
Correct. That is the idea that, you know, the rules changed a while back, that instead of they wanted people to be in control of their own money. So you've got your lump sum of pension, which is being invested to provide for you in your later years. And the government decided, well, look, you should be in charge of that money to invest in it however you like. Now, that creates a problem because that money is now available for people to scam you and get their hold of that. So the idea of liberating those funds does exist and can be a good thing for people who know what they're doing. But if anybody suggests that you can do that below the age of 55, they're trying to con you.
You used a word then, you said liberate your funds, and that's one that I've already know that if someone says to me, liberate your funds, I know that it could be a scam because you've said it's liberation, it's loan, it's loopholes, savings advice, one-off investments, cash back.
All those things should be red flags. Look, the basic principle with these, because people will find very, very interesting phrasing to say, oh, no, this isn't a scam, this is just a loophole. We've actually found something that's going to help you. But with all these things, ask yourself 3 questions. First, does this sound too good to be true? Now, the Real Hustle used to always end up with that phrase. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Still sound advice. Number 2, we just touched on it. If you're being rushed, the reason people rush you is because they want you to make a decision based on gut and instinct rather than, hang on, let me just think about this before I do anything.
So that's your biggest fight back, isn't it?
Biggest fight back. And also, put the phone, say thank you very much, put the phone down, talk to someone about it. Talk to people at work, talk to your family.
And just very finally, if you have been scammed, you can report it.
Please, I beg people, please report it. Please don't feel embarrassed. Anybody can fall for a scam. I can fall for a scam today. You know, we're all vulnerable. Report it. Call Action Fraud, report it to them, report it to your bank, and also the quicker you act and the more information you have, the greater the chance that you'll get some of your money back, but it's not guaranteed.
It's like whack-a-mole, isn't it? No sooner do you understand one scam, then another one pops up you need to get your head around.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Indeed.
We'll see you again.
Thank you.